Greetings Fanders and Thomas Sanders if you are watching, and welcome back to a rather delayed reaction video. Apologies for not uploading any videos for 2 weeks in a row. I went to a local Comic Con 2 weeks ago, and then we had a pretty big heat wave, and on top of that I was recovering from having been to the local Comic Con and getting back into the swing of life. So of course, by the time I noticed a week had passed me by, I realised I hadn't uploaded videos in almost 2 weeks, so apologies for that. I will say that I'm gonna upload this video this weekend. I'm gonna try and get a regular video out during the week, but there is not going to be a reaction video next weekend because, and I don't want anyone to tell John Barrowman ahead of time, but I'm going to be going to London Film Comic Con next weekend, and I'm going to be cosplaying as Captain Jack Harkness. So yeah, that's a part of the reason why I've been a bit quiet on here. I've been getting that sorted out as well. It's not perfect, and I mean it's my first proper cosplay that's not a wardrobe cosplay, but yeah, I'm looking quite forward to that. And while that isn't going to be a reaction video next week, I am going to be vlogging London Film Comic Con, so bear in mind that even though I'm vlogging it next week, it might take maybe half a month, maybe more, for the actual vlog to come out, because I'm going to be recording over the course of, I think, 4 days, because I'm going up there 2 days before the event to kind of prep and stuff. And I just think it would be really nice if I vlog it, because it's been ages since I did a vlog of me going to a con or going to something, and I've missed doing it so much. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna vlog a lot during the actual con, or if I'm gonna take pictures, but I do think I want to vlog as much as I possibly can. And the coolest thing is I'm likely going to be hanging out with my editor, who edits the majority of my videos on this channel. So whether she's doing a vlog, I don't know, but if she is, then we're both going to be putting vlogs up, so keep an eye out for a London Film Comic Con vlog. And without any further ado, let's hop straight into the reaction video, because I have missed doing this as well.
What is up, everybody? So 2023 is out of here. Truly the epitome of a year that for me felt altogether over in a moment, while at the same time containing what seemed to be way more than a year of experiences. Before we close it out though, I wanted to look back on this past year and go over my own personal successes as well as failures, because I had both of them. And I want to talk about what I learned from those experiences and how I plan to utilize those lessons going into next year. In order to do that, I'm going to refer to my channel update video that I posted near the beginning of this year. Let's look at some successes! We're aiming to bring you another cartoon therapy this year, because I miss Pakani and I want him back. We did manage to bring Pakani back. I got to work with my friend Dahlia, we got to talk about Into the Spider-Verse, and this was the first of this brand of video that I took on without Joan there, so it was extremely intimidating, but we made it happen, and I think we all had a lot of fun putting it together. I love Bacani. I love that series. It was fantastic bringing another one of those videos out there, especially for Spider-Verse. We're getting ready next week to bulk shoot the next chapters of Role Slaying with Roman, and we did manage to bulk shoot 2 chapters of Role Slaying with Roman and brought chapter 4 to everybody on the channel this year, with chapter 5 coming to everybody next year. Working with Terrence, Bree, Quill, Katie, and everyone else who contributes to the Role Slaying series in any type of way is an absolute dream, and I appreciate everybody who shows any sort of appreciation to our Dungeons & Dragons series. It means the frickin' world. And not only that, but we managed to debut Role Slaying with Roman as a podcast in 2023, so that was a completely unexpected thing, and I'm really happy because it brought in a whole other audience. I am also currently writing another completely original song. I not only finished writing that original song, I am now in the middle of producing it with my friend Joseph. We're gonna meet up at the beginning of January to finish it out, and then we're gonna create the video for it. I have never written an original song almost completely by myself before. The closest I've ever come was Rhythm Redux, and Joan always points to that and says, see, you pretty much made this. You can write songs, you dummy. And so yeah, that was a pretty big success for me. Now let's look at a failure. The risk of sounding overly ambitious again, my aim is to get parts 1 and 2 of the Sanderside season finale out to you all. Hey Thomas! What happened, buddy? I could go into the specifics of just this year alone, but I think I owe it to you all, as well as to myself, to look at the bigger picture as to what has been throwing the wrench into getting the season 2 finale of one of my largest series on my channel off the ground. I think I can boil the headline of it down to a sudden and complete lack of belief in myself and my abilities. By Thomas Sanders. Before we go further, I'll reiterate, I did learn things this year that helped me with this problem, big time, and give me hope for next year. The double-edged sword with making something cool is that a lot of people love it, and a lot of people love it. I've said this before, but the Sandersides videos started off as something I only saw as a one-off video, to a series of videos that I was doing in my little corner of the internet, to a slightly larger series that I was doing with my friends in our little corner of the internet, to a seemingly much larger thing that a lot of people were invested in. And that is awesome, while at the same time being very overwhelming and scary. I love seeing people show support for these videos in whatever way, reacting to them, creating art and edits for them, cosplays for them, appreciating small moments. It's one of my most favorite and encouraging things when making these videos. But I learned how quickly and easily I internalized negative criticism if I happened to stumble upon it. Now, that is not to say that you can't write criticism about our writing. We are not perfect writers or video makers or anything, and we never will be. And people are allowed to write what they want about the things we make. Not to mention there's lots of fair criticism that can be helpful for a creator. But I was internalizing even criticisms about character choices or negative feedback about what was wished to be contained in a certain video that we worked so hard on when we were trying to focus on something else. It was little things. It was stuff that just slowly but surely disheartened us over time, especially while working on the next video as we were writing, for fear of writing something that might let somebody else down in the next video. I think it affected me so much because I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't know that was going to be my working process, but it's something that I'm continuing to learn how to adjust to because, you know, I gotta. I never thought I would be working on something that would have so many people invested in it, and that is overwhelming in the most wonderful but also intimidating way. It's still something I'm figuring out. And again, everyone is and should be allowed to write what they want to. I don't want anyone getting mad at anyone writing criticism about the things we make. They have a right to. It is on me and anyone on the team who happens to stumble upon that stuff while looking through people's art and memes and edits. And while we were getting bogged down with that, quarantine happened, which slowed down all of our projects. And then Joan left. As so many of you know, Joan was my co-writer, and they are responsible for so much of what people love about the Sandersides. Their writing, whether serious or humorous, whether on topics light or heavy, was always thoughtful and magical. They're the reason Janice and Remus exist. They're responsible for so many of the songs, the inside jokes, the nicknames, the lessons. They made filming each character fun because it was always our aim to make each other laugh, and that fun was always reflected in our videos. I could not see myself doing the series without them. So when they left, I felt the overwhelming weight of the series like never before. Joan's reasons for leaving were absolutely valid, they needed it, and I am so happy for and love them. They worked hard to try and convince me of my worth and capacity to be able to carry on with the series without them. The months went on, and we finished working through Intrusive Thoughts, which was incredibly fun, but long and arduous, and should not have been labeled a Sanders Asides video, but we'll get to that. Trying to complete that huge-ass video led to a bit of a burnout on big projects, while at the same time we were working on the outline for the season finale, referring a lot to Joan's notes that they left with the team before they departed, because we really wanted to maintain a lot of Joan's vision for what they saw the season finale being. We also began working on the songs that I wanted featured in the season finale. 6 songs!
Oh wow.
No joke, there are 6 songs in the season finale. What was I thinking? Honestly, with the scope of the project being what it is, costume, song, set, location, and the like, I guess the other reason for this delay would be creative over-ambition. Gets us every time.
Yes.
We also, at the same time, managed to get Role Slaying with Roman off the ground, which was a breath of fresh air being a new series with no stakes. And I didn't even have to write for it. I just come in, play a game with one of my best friends,
so
react to
cool.
some gorgeous art made by talented artists, and improvise my way through a mysterious and thrillingly written fairy tale narrative. I was hooked! 2022 looks like it was a year of role-slaying and experimenting with what I thought were trendy videos. Let's plays, Taskmaster, the Wednesday dance. It was a ton of fun doing them, but I think I was doing my best to attempt videos that didn't have to rely on my writing. I was writing the season finale throughout 2022 and just despising everything that I was writing. I would spend whole days on a single interaction between 2 characters, and at the end of the day, hating it all together and wondering how Joan would have written it better, or wondering how it would fall short, possibly, in viewers' eyes. I just wasn't feeling the connection with these characters the way that I once did. It saddened me. And on top of that, I was feeling myself letting people down with every month passing that didn't have the season finale out, and it just discouraged me more. And that is not to say that there weren't a bunch of people out there on the interweb saying the exact opposite. Just like, take your time, you got this, we will wait as long as need be kind to yourself, drink water, you all are absolute freaking sweethearts, I love you so much. My internal dialogue was just a little bit louder. For the YouTube's Plushies video that I made last year, I decided to just have a go at making it a mini Sandersides episode. And for the first time in a while, I felt like I maybe had a handle on the characters again. But it was just a promotional video for the plushies, free from the need to expand upon the lore. Then, last October, I decided I really wanted to do a cover of Into the Unknown sung by Janus. I just saw a scene between him and Patton that I really wanted to make a reality, and even though we had 2 weeks to do it, I said, F it, we ball. And Quill and I made it a reality. And I'm very glad that we did. When it was all said and done, I got chills from the scene that I wrote to go with the cover, and I thought, hey now, that was pretty fun. And from there, I began trusting what I was writing for these characters a bit more. It was a very blissful month. And then I got hit with my skin condition. Most of you are aware, but for those who don't, at the end of 2022, I developed a skin condition that inevitably led to me losing most of my hair. I made a whole video about it, you can check it out and hear more of my thoughts about it there. It took what self-worth I had at that point and body slammed that sucker right into the ground. It just made doing tasks a lot harder because sometimes I would catch myself in the mirror or in the viewfinder of the camera and I would have to take a second to cry.
Yeah.
Maybe a whole half an hour to cry. 2023 was a year of crying, but let's take a look at the channel update from earlier and examine one more goal that I had. I'm also going to be trying to make other videos more bite-sized and maybe also include a little bit more of the comedy that people know me from my short videos. Ladies, NBs, gentlemen, this is the best decision I made! Regardless of how intimidating long-form content was, I still had no problem taking a day to write, film, and edit a short-form video just the way I'd always done since 2013. If it failed, oh well, on to the next one. If it popped off, hooray! day, the epiphany that I could take that short form writing and apply it to slightly longer horizontal content for YouTube was life-changing. Not only was it the right kind of experimental content for my channel, because that kind of humor is probably why so many of you know of me in the first place, but it was also like this little Trojan horse of confidence entering my mind, going, hey buddy, that little sketch was fun. Maybe you can do this other, slightly longer sketch video. And after that, maybe a sketch involving the sides. It's okay. It's just a little sketch. There are no stakes to it. No one will care. By allowing myself to play with the sides in this sandbox of sketch writing that I had never tried before, I was learning how to write for them by myself again. At the same time, I was rediscovering my love for short form content creation. This year marked 10 years since I started on Vine, and I began asking myself why I found those videos so fun when I started back in 2013. And I decided to renew it a little by tapping into the videos I used to do. I did a couple more storytime videos, a misleading compliment, a bunch of short videos that were just dad jokes in disguise, and a couple of Spider-Man shorts where I learned from comments that I need to start wearing a cup. Losing my hair forced me at my lowest depths to rediscover who I was and why I did what I did. I had to learn how to love myself and find joy in my work again, because it had to come from within, not on the outside. And I was surprisingly discovering all of it. Hell, at one point this year, I just decided to launch a whole new miniseries. For the fuck of it. I decided it's gonna be a miniseries called My Roommate is Hades, based off of an idea that just came to me and excited me. And we just went for it. And I'm so glad we did. I don't think I would have even attempted that 3 years ago. At one point, I said, what the hell, let's just reach out to some creators and see if they want to collaborate. And they did! I had been so down on myself for so long, it really did not occur to me that I'd have any chance at working with any of them. And it was a blast! I got back on stage in a full-fledged musical for the first time in 4 years in Sweeney Todd, and it did my heart good.
Dude,
all of this
awesome.
snowballed to the ultimate test of whether or not Stella got her figurative groove back, and that was the Secret Santa Sanders Asides video posted just last week. An idea born on a live stream I had with Patreon patrons 1 month prior. Again, I said, what the hey, let's do it. And it turned into one of my favorite videos featuring the sides I've ever made.
That's so cool.
And I wrote it. This year, while working on all those other projects and dealing with life being life, we've managed to finalize drafts to 3 parts of the 4-part Sanderside Season 2 finale. Do they need revisions? Hell yeah. Part 1 has already gone through multiple revisions, and that's frustrating because we just weren't getting a design or a flow that we were happy with. But we also landed on some amazing new things that are now in there that wouldn't have been featured in the finale at all, and I think it's better for it. We've gotten ourselves here, and with the confidence I feel even from last week's video, I'm looking at the season finale with fresher eyes and revived love for these characters. It was a really intense era of writer's block, and I feel like I'm through it. Not only that, but I'm also feeling a revived love for everything I do, and I think it can be felt in the videos. I've received a number of comments from people saying that they can feel a shift change in the videos themselves, and it's true because it is real. That has happened with me. Our management reached out to us and let us know that this year we experienced some of the highest percentage growth on our platforms.
Oh wow.
And I like to think it's because of that rediscovered love. Now that it's the end of the year and my hair's grown back, it's going to be important to keep up practices to maintain this energy. So here's what I've learned what to do going forward into 2024. First, I gotta stay away from the posts about the things I make. This is something I think every writer knows, and I should have known better. It's something I learned even way back in 2014 with my Vines. Never read the comments. I still enjoy reading the comments on the YouTube videos. I'm just gonna do better about looking at posts on other sites. It just increases my chances of stumbling upon that one negative post out of a bunch of positive posts, and I still too easily internalize them. At best, those kinds of posts only apply negative pressure to the creator, and usually work done underneath negative pressure results in a less than ideal product. You all can feel when a video is done with joy and when one is done with obligation and stress.
Yes.
At worst, those kinds of posts scare or discourage me from writing for a bit, and I do not need to be putting myself in that situation. Once again, it is all right to write posts like that. It is on me to avoid it. Now, writing one of those kinds of posts and tagging me in it is another story. If your desire is for a creator to finish a certain project, I would just ask that you consider what you're writing, how it's being worded, and what its possible effects on the creator might be.
Exactly.
But if you've got edits, art, cosplay, memes, or anything else you'd like to share, please feel free to tag me in those if you'd like me to see them, because like I said, those are the coolest things for me. It's why I go searching for them in the first place. Nothing is more encouraging or motivating than seeing the things you all make. Second, I have got to continue finding the fun in these videos that I have been doing for this past year. That means if I decide to make another little Sanders Asides video before the season finale, it's all in the process of rediscovering the joy of writing for this series and these characters that I had. And also, I think Asides videos are just as fun and character exploring as Sides videos. And for most of you, I know you enjoy them too. I just know some viewers are perplexed by their somewhat ambiguous placement on the timeline. It's true, Sanders Asides doesn't really focus heavily on the timeline. They're more for having fun with the characters, which is why Joan and I recently decided that Are There Healthy Distractions, Flirting with Social Anxiety, and Working Through Intrusive Thoughts should all be relabeled as Sanders Sides videos.
That makes
proper,
sense,
because they all adhere to the timeline pretty well and introduce some pretty heavy plot and character development. Yes, in the Plushie, Inside Out, and Secret Santa videos, Thomas's apartment was all put back together, but the sides still acted like they had story-driven beef with each other. Perhaps character Thomas has found a brief respite from his depression without addressing his larger issues?
Maybe,
or perhaps I just wanted to have fun with the characters without completely abandoning their character-motivated drama. I'm having fun, sorry. Even after the Secret Santa video, Quill and I were saying, this could have just been a Sides video. I mean, it won't be, but you know. Asides videos? Just as up there with Sides videos. Just keep in mind that if I work on other sketch videos, Asides or otherwise, it's all sharpening my skills as a writer and allowing me to stretch my brain toes for a bit while I work on the season finale. To keep my spirits up. And lastly, my word of the year next year is going to have to be grace. When my dad read a recent tweet of mine recently about my lack of confidence in writing, he confronted me about it and told me that it came to him as a bit of a shock. He definitely didn't know I've been dealing with it for the past 3 years, because I haven't been talking with anyone about it. Not my family, not my friends, not my team, and definitely not on the channel. Because I felt that showing how scared I wasn't gonna solve anything. But if I learned one thing from this past year, it's that being more open and honest about your struggles at least allows you to learn how to deal with or heal from them. If I just bit down and kept on swimming, my team would have never thought to advise me to try out short sketch videos on the channel. Not every bit of filming between Joan and I was fun and games. Sometimes on set there would be disagreements or strong feelings one way or the other, and my solution was always to bottle it up and bulldoze through it because it had to get done. And Joan would have none of it. They would say we weren't doing anything else until we talked through what we were feeling, until we got to a resolution, because if we didn't, the video would suffer for it. I think I've been trying to bulldoze through these past couple years without addressing what was going on inside. And I think some of my videos suffered for it. Losing my hair forced me, for the first time, to be open and honest about something I was scared of, because there was no way to avoid it. And I think it was probably the best thing that could have happened to me, because I realized people could handle those feelings. And I could handle them too. Who knows what next year's gonna throw at us? This year, on top of everything else, we've had loss, relationship issues. Floridians had DeSantis. The fact that any of you got anything done creatively at all is a miracle. So next year, I'm gonna have grace for myself, reveling in my successes and having forgiveness for my failures. Because that's all I can do if I wanna have any hope of maintaining joy in my work. Yeah, we failed at getting some things done, but damn, We revisited Cartoon Therapy, released the next chapter of Role Slaying with Ramen, made a new Disney mashup, I wrote a new original song, launched a whole new freaking mini-series, launched a podcast, instituted a posting schedule, I started making 2 short videos a week, grew our audience larger than we have in years, I landed my first gig at my voiceover agency, performed in a musical, collaborated with a bunch of amazing creators, and finalized drafts to 3 parts of our 4-part Sanderside Season 2 finale. I'm proud of what we accomplished. Now, for this next moment, I'm about to get even more self-indulgent because on top of my accomplishments, I have to give a shout out to some of my friends who had their own successes this year. Valerie moved up to New York this year where she performed in her first Broadway show, The Revival of Camelot, performing with the likes of Philippa Soo. I went and saw it. It was amazing. Valerie was everything. Dahlia wrote 40 new poems this year. Wow. And officially started a poetry book. Jay debuted a film based off her one-man show at the Peachtree International Film Festival. Joan and Talon have adopted 2 new cats, Jax and Vienna, and they're living as very proud cat parents up in Vermont. Terrence has also gone up to New York to be in his first off-Broadway show, Titanic. It has been getting rave reviews. I cannot wait to see it. Check it out if you have the chance. People have had nothing but good things to say about it, and they keep going back. Kenny has been landing voiceover gigs with YouTube series and indie games. Calypso directed and choreographed Sweeney Todd, the musical that I was in, and she was the talk of the theatrical community for how she managed to stage that show in the round. Quill released a new music video with their band Confession Kids, and it's awesome. Leo began creating music left and right. Dominic moved in with his partners Renee and Em, and also shot 3 goth music videos. Renee got a modeling gig in New York for Sally Beauty Supplies. Brittany survived another year of teaching preschool, and her daughter Mila remains one of the cutest kids in the world. And Joseph had one of his songs featured in a freaking movie! Dumb Money, starring Seth Rogen, Pete Davidson, Paul Dano, America Ferrera, and more. Check it out, it's about 16 minutes in when they introduce Anthony Ramos' character. That's freaking Joseph! I'm sure there's more. My friends are the freaking coolest, and I wish them even more success in the year ahead. In January, we're gonna go dark on the channel in order to bulk shoot videos and get ahead of things. And then, you know, we'll see what happens. Yeah. But I'm excited. Here's to finalizing the season finale, as well as working on other projects that bring you joy. I hope you all get to celebrate your own successes from this past year. And grant yourselves grace for anything you may deem a failure. We're still amazing. And we're still capable of amazing things. Let's rock 2024 as best as we can. Yeah, until next time, take it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out.
I loved that. I will admit, I was a bit unsure about whether or not to do a reaction video of me reacting to that specific 2023 like update video, but I'm kind of glad I did because yeah, you went through a lot that year, Thomas, and like that was also, I think, the first year that I stopped uploading to YouTube because I was in the process of moving out that year, I think. Was it 2020 I moved out? Yes, it was, I think. Yeah, I moved out in 2023. And yeah, I as a result, because I moved out and the majority of 2023 I didn't have a desk, I didn't have any shelves. The only places I could easily use my laptop were the kitchen or the dining room table, and because I moved out and it's my first ever time living alone, as opposed to with a family, it was also quite a huge change mentally. So I had to kind of take that year to settle into the swing of doing things myself for myself. And then, yeah, I'm kind of glad that I think I returned to YouTube reaction video wise fairly late on last year. I might be wrong. It might be last year. Yeah, I think it might have been this year that I returned to doing the reaction videos. Mainly because I needed something to do since I had finished 2 employability qualifications at the time, which haven't really led on too much yet. And yeah, I needed something to do because I got from having a steady pace to suddenly having way too much time that was just empty and dull. So yeah, I returned to doing YouTube reaction videos, and at the time that was all I was doing. And I'm kind of glad I did that because it helped me to kind of get back into the swing of it and regain my confidence a lot and like remember like how to edit videos. And then around about March, April, after the shop I have spent 6 years volunteering in closed, while I was dealing with issues with my mental health, as a result of that happening, because I was struggling. Man, I was struggling. I got into I returned to my love of drama, and that helped me to regain confidence again. And it was around about that time that I started getting back into uploading my gaming videos, because I suddenly had time in the evenings and energy where I just wasn't doing anything and I had to get something out. So yeah, I bounced back from some difficult things, and I completely understand what Thomas was saying about the whole thing of not really believing in yourself and all that. Mate, I have gone through that multiple times this year alone. Like, I didn't really believe in myself that I could act on stage. Despite everything, I didn't really believe in myself that I could create freehand artworks, which I've begun to do a lot more this year, which is part of the reason why it's been harder for me to get fan art out compared to how much I used to get out. But yeah, I am going to try and get, I don't know, standard size fan art out from time to time as I progress with getting a life. I'm related to a lot of that, and I am so freaking proud of how Thomas, aka, if you're still watching, I am so proud of how far you come despite all those challenges that you faced, because like while I wasn't uploading videos myself or streaming, which I do hope to get back into at some point, I was fairly often posting a photo edit or a artwork or a post in general out, and every time like Thomas would see one of those posts, and would like put a really cool comment on it, or even if he simply just liked a comment, it would bring me so much joy. And like, well, Thomas was going through that like, I was proud that he came out the other side happier, and you seem to be doing so much better now, Thomas, and I'm so proud of you. And blimey, I know that video was from December 2023, but the good thing is that does mean that I'll be catching up on videos from last year fairly soon, and we're just over halfway through 2025, so especially after London Film Comic Con has passed me by, I think we're going to catch up by November, probably. Even if it does mean like that I don't, we're going to catch up very fast now, because we're already almost on to the videos from last year. Right, I think before I ramble anymore, I should probably end out the video. And yeah, the next video will either be a regular video or London Film Comic Con vlog. Keep your eyes out for both of them, because I think it's a Happy Wheels video that I'm doing this week. Yeah, because the previous one I think was Minecraft. And maybe I'll start introducing some other games fairly soon. Fingers crossed. But yeah. If you enjoyed watching this video, leave a like. Drop a comment below. What have you done in the past 3 years that you are proud of yourself for doing, or accomplishing, or overcoming? Cause like, I love hearing about people's success stories, and I just think it'd be a lovely way to have people discussing things in comments, because I don't get many comments on videos. And while you're at it, please do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, because it's the best way you can support me in my biggest hobby, and gotta admit, one of my biggest personal accomplishments is my YouTube channel, because I've gone from being extremely camera shy to being able to sit in front of a camera and get videos out. Like, back when I started this channel, well, back when I rebranded this channel into Starflight 4842, you might not have noticed it in the videos themselves, but I struggled so much to look at the camera, because I did not like being on camera. I still struggle with it a bit now, but not as much as I used to. And doing YouTube has helped out with my speech. I'm not stuttering as much as I used to. But yeah, please do consider subscribing. I know it's annoying that a lot of you YouTubers, not Ubers, say that, but yeah, it's the best way you can support us. and I shall catch you guys in the next video. Okay, take care, stay safe out there. I love you all loads. Okie doke. Bye!